audience. Did you know 89% of abortions happen within the first trimester of a pregnancy, which is prior to the 13th week of gestation? Abortion has been going on since ancient times, before it was even decided to be legal or illegal. It just was something that happened. In May of this year, several states issued a bill to make abortion illegal for anything that was not extreme. So the only reason you could have an abortion was if the mom or the baby were in harm's way of carrying out the full-term pregnancy. This has caused very many problems and massive controversy, but the biggest problem is that it is taking away women's rights. Abortion should be legal because it is a woman's right to her own decision. It is a healthy and safe way to terminate a pregnancy, and it prevents unwanted children to feel like they're unwanted. Like I said, the most important reason is a woman's right. In 1976, there was a bill called Roe versus Wade, which was a discussion with the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional to have any kind of restriction on abortion choices. And I found a quote that says, "No woman can call herself free if she doesn't get to control her own body." And the problem is men are making this decision for women. The current bills right now, the majority of people who are passing these bills are male governors. And 75% of anti-abortion leaders are men, while 100% of them will never have to face this decision alone. And the thing is, women don't get a say. These Republican leaders are choosing what rules get to be in, and they are not having any leniency of a woman's opinion. The only way we can fix this is by protesting. Now, most people believe that protesting doesn't really do anything, but honestly, the only other way to speak up for what you believe in is by protesting. Otherwise, the government will just walk all over you. While this is a problem, it is also the healthiest and safest way to terminate a pregnancy. In 1972, 39 maternal deaths were caused by either using clothes hangers or knitting needles or back alley abortions just to terminate the pregnancy. A back alley abortion is something like someone who doesn't know what they're doing, just trying to fix the problem. But in 1976, after the Roe versus Wade, there were only 2 maternal deaths due to a clothes hanger or knitting needle. And modern abortions now don't cause any lasting form of illness like cancer or anything like that they used to. It is also painless for the baby and the mother, which most people don't believe. But Britain's Royal College obstetricians and gynecologists claim that a baby does not feel pain until the cortex is formed, which is the main source of pain. And that doesn't happen until the 26th gestational week of pregnancy. And in this picture here, you can see when most pregnancies happen. And the big blue part is 89% of the time it's before 12 weeks. And the smaller blue part is 2/3 of the time it happens before 8 weeks. So it's long before the cortex has even started developing. It is also painless for the mom because there are professionals monitoring her pain, unlike when there was a back alley abortion and it was just no pain medication or anything. And basically, if abortion becomes illegal, it will become unsafe again. Women will keep on having abortions whether it's legal or not, because it's just something that has always happened. I found a quote that says, "Decades ago, women were having horrifying back alley abortions. When GOP made these new rules, we had to question ourselves and ask why the government would want women to go back into the back alley." And I feel like this is a good summary of what's happening, because they definitely will just go back to these unsafe ways of getting an abortion. The third and final reason why abortion should be legal is because it prevents a child from growing up not feeling unwanted. And this may seem kind of harsh, but I think it's something that people need to look into. Not everyone can afford raising a child, and that is one main reason why most people get an abortion. In this chart here, it's all the reasons why women get abortions. and these are the most likely and the least likely, leading from I didn't want anyone to know I was pregnant to I didn't feel mature enough, and in the higher reason, it's because they couldn't afford a baby. And I went to a website that shows different women's testimony about their abortion experience, and most of them felt extremely guilty for what they had done. But one lady in particular was talking about how her boyfriend worked up to 80 hours a week and she was unemployed and they were still barely making ends meet, and she had protected sex and she ended up getting pregnant, and she was super excited because she always wanted to be a mom, and she realized that it couldn't have happened at a worse time because she could not afford to carry the child or raise it. And so she ended up having an abortion, and even though she felt super guilty, she knew that was the right reason and the right thing to do. And some people make that decision and other people make the decision to keep the child, and then they realize that they can't afford it or they can't do it alone, or things fall between the parents and it ends up that the kid goes to foster care. And there are 443,000 children a day that are in foster care, and if abortion is made illegal, these numbers will only increase. And that means that there will make it nearly impossible for a child to get put into a good, stable, and loving home because there just aren't enough people for it. And some people believe that this is a selfish thing to do because it is a form of birth control, and they should just face the consequences of what they did. But the thing is, it actually benefits the child, the unborn child, more if it doesn't grow up to be in a foster care system. Even in cases of rape, people believe the child should be raised by the mom, but it still grows up knowing that it was conceived by non-consensual sex, and that is really hard. Overall, I believe that we as women need to take action. Men can be involved in this action too, but as a woman, it is our duty to do this right and fight for our rights. We can protest and show the government how the history of what happens when abortion is illegal and how it becomes unsafe. And I know it seems hard and that we don't have a voice, but that's exactly what they want us to think. We have our right to our own body, and men should not make this decision for us. Abortion should be legal because it is a woman's right, and it is the healthy way, and it prevents a child from growing up feeling unwanted. If we take this freedom away, then we can't really say America is free because a woman doesn't have her own choices. No woman has an abortion just for fun. She has it strictly because she feels like she's at a complete crossroads and she feels like she can't do anything else and she feels trapped. If you don't want to have it, if you don't agree with an abortion, then don't have one, but don't take the choice away from other women. Thank you.